Hi, my name is Azan and I am so excited to still be on this journey to becoming the best version of myself as I exercise my destiny. I do believe that God has a plan for my life, and I'm really just excited to be a part of this journey with Him. Let's go. Over the last couple weeks, I've been thinking about transition, and I was reading this book by Christian Valentine. It's called Spiritual Warfare. And in the book, there's a concept called the hell in the hallway. And it speaks directly to the principles of transition, where you've left one door of opportunity and you're waiting to get to the next door of opportunity, but now you're in this hallway. And in this hallway, you experience challenges, you experience trials, you experience pressure that challenges you while you wait to transition. It even makes me think about when we say that with every level, there's a new devil. Right? So after you've left one opportunity of life and you're getting ready to go up or transition, you get to experience a new level of temptation, a new level of impact that you haven't experienced yet before, and you're in this waiting room of life, waiting to transition to the next door. And the problem that we tend to have in this moment is that our emotions get the best of us, right? Our emotions get pressured, our emotions get provoked, and we want to turn back, or we want to give up even in the hallway, forgetting that there's a door waiting for us. It's only a hallway, there's still a door waiting. Keep that in mind, right? So even as I thought some more about the book and about emotions, I decided to go look up emotions, and I found out that emotions are made up of 3 steps: the personal experience, the psychological responses, and your behavioral responses. So the personal experience deals with the facts of life around us and how life impacts us, right? Whereas your psychological responses deal with how we categorize that experience. We may categorize it into 6 categories, being sadness, happiness, fear, anger, surprise, or disgust. So life is happening, then we internalize that experience and we categorize it so we can process that information. And then we have the last part of our emotions, our behavioral responses. Our behavioral responses is really where the power and the responsibility is, because we can never really control what life does around us, right? If it's gonna rain today, it's gonna rain. It's out of our control. If there's gonna be sunlight today, it's out of our control. And even our psychological responses, how we process life, that's a little bit in our control, but we're really only processing information that we're receiving, the information that we don't have control over. But our power really lies in our behavioral responses. How you choose to respond to life is always going to be in your hands. So the concept of conditioning your responses really starts here. And it brought my mind to sports. There is always a season in sports where they go through conditioning. They have a moment in time where they're developing their skills, they're developing their mind, their reflexes, so that when it's game time, that their responses will be on cue, that they can really perform in this high intensity environment because they were prepared for that experience. So because we understand that life is always happening around us, it would be irresponsible of us not to prepare for the challenges of life, not to condition our responses for the challenges of life, especially when we're on a journey to become, especially when we're on a mission to experience life greater than we've already experienced it. We have to now understand that we are going to be challenged. Our muscles, our emotions, our minds, all of us, every part of us is going to be challenged to the point that we are not used to. So if we are wise, if we are diligent, it would be important to condition or prepare our responses so that we're not thrown off when it's game time, right? This brought my mind to Jesus in the Garden of Gethsemane and how he exemplified someone who has mature emotional and faith management. So for those of you that don't know, in the Garden of Gethsemane, this is where Jesus is preparing to go to the cross to be crucified. And he has this moment where God reveals to him this experience. He shows him a cup of what they call the cup of suffering. And in that cup of suffering is the experience of the cross that he is now becoming aware that he's going to have to take on. And it is such an overwhelming experience for him that it's documented that his sweat became blood. That's how much of an emotional strain he was experiencing from even just receiving the information that he would have to endure this. Not even going through it, just his emotions being able to capture the information, process that experience was overwhelming for him. But his response was, nevertheless, not my will, God, but your will be done. This shows us somebody that was able to condition his responses, or condition his faith, or focus his faith in on his journey, saying that I understand that there are going to be excruciating challenges ahead of me, but there is a mission and goal that I'm trying to accomplish. And in order for me to get there, I understand it may not be comfortable, it may not be good to me, but it's going to be good for me, because ultimately I will be able to achieve what I was purposed and destined to do in this world. Now, a lot of us may not have grand tasks like Jesus had to literally die for the sins of the entire world, but the mindset remains the same, that there are going to be experiences that are going to be presented to you that may not be good to you, but they're good for you, because through them you're going to be able to accomplish what you were destined to do in this earth. One more time, it may not be good to you, but it'll be good for you. Why? Because you'll be able to accomplish what you were meant to do in this earth. And that hope alone should be enough for us to stay focused. But if it's not, that's why it's important to condition your responses, so that when the challenges and the tests of life come up, when the pressure and the pain is really on, you are not led away, you do not flinch, you do not lose focus, you do not break under that pressure, because you were prepared for that journey. Now, ultimately, we don't know what's going to happen. We may not get the moment like Jesus had where things are revealed to us ahead of time, but the responsibility is really still on us to make sure that we are prepared to the best of our ability, so that we are not thrown off track. The next thought that came to my mind in this whole journey of thinking about our emotions and how our hearts are affected while we transition or while we pursue life, right, is the fact that emotions are a tool to process information given. But information taken in can always be limited. Our emotions are only able to see so much, but then sometimes there is a bigger picture, right? In Psalms 23, it talks about that there is a table prepared before us in the presence of our enemies. So often do we focus on the enemies that are presented before us that we always forget, or we sometimes forget, that there is a table already prepared before us. We focus so much on our experience in the hallway, or the hell in the hallway, that we forget that there is a door that we are transitioning to. The hell in the hallway is not eternal. The hell in the hallway is not everlasting. It's a moment. It's a period of transition. You're not living there, you're transitioning through there. We have to get to the point where we are conditioning our responses, conditioning our points of view, conditioning our eyes and our thoughts and our ears, that we are not confined to the information that we are simply seeing, but we are focused on the information or the future ahead of us, right? It also brings me to a story of, there's a prophet called Elijah. There's a prophet called Elijah, and he was with his servant. They were in this city, and there was an enemy army that was coming to take them. They were coming to take them captive. And when the servant looked out the window, he saw that the whole entire city was surrounded by the enemy army, and he was so worried. Why? Because his emotions saw the experiences of life, processed that information, and decided, I'm afraid. And his response was fair. His statements were fair. He was worried. He wanted to give up, right? But Elijah, somebody who was mature and able to see past the limitations of the information given to him and see into, or see the future, or see the table prepared for him. He didn't just see the enemies. He was able to see the table that was prepared for him. He prayed to God and said, God, open my servant's eyes so that he can see what you have prepared for us. And when the servant's eyes was opened by God, he was able to see that there was an angel army surrounding the army that was surrounding them, right? So our emotions are able to take in the information that we're able to see. But our spirit, or our faith, or our hope in God, connected to God, is able to see the door, or the angel army that is prepared to defend us, or the opportunities that are prepared to release us or deliver us. So let's not get focused in on the obstacles. Let's not get focused in on the challenges, but let us set our hopes further and look to the door of opportunity that is already prepared. Our assignment really is to condition our responses so that we can continue to make it. There's a goal in your heart, there's a goal in your mind, there's a vision that was deposited inside of you, and your job is to make it. You have to decide within yourself that this is where I'm going, this is what I'm going to do, and I'm going to prepare my heart and my mind to stay focused in so I don't get thrown off track by my emotions. Your emotions will lead you away. Your emotions are self-serving. They're set up to protect you. They're set up to take in that information and push you to do what's best for you or what's best for your desires. And most of the time, it's to stray away from pain, stray away from pressure. And sometimes, then bring it back up. It may not be good to you, but it'll be good for you because it will bring you to the place to complete what you were called to do in this earth. One of the last things I'm gonna say, and you can wrap this one up, is that a part of conditioning is your environment, the people that you work with, and what you've established as the tools for your overall growth and betterment, right? So putting scriptures around you that support your declarations or support your vision is important. Affirmations, we talked about affirmations a little bit in short clip videos. Songs that keep you motivated or keep your spirit up. Life all around you in itself is enough to bring you down. So don't fight against yourself by speaking negativity to yourself. Always feed yourself with positivity. Always feed yourself with messages of hope, messages that keep your eyes focused on the future, focus on the possibilities in life, not the disappointment, not the enemy, not the armies, but focus on the hope, focus on what God has prepared for you. And even sometimes say the prayer, God, open my eyes that I may see what you are preparing for me. Open my eyes, or refocus my eyes that I might see the door that I'm walking towards and not just the hallway. Refocus my eyes so that I'm not paying attention to my enemies, but I see the table prepared for me and I literally get to sit down and eat rather than sit down and starve. And last but not least, it's so important, especially in sports, to be in a space where you're conditioning with other people that are also conditioning. I'm gonna tie in another concept in there. Hopefully you're still with me. But when you're on a weight loss journey, if your goal is going out with friends that want to eat trash food, candy, it's gonna be hard to stay on track. And it's even gonna be harder to stay on track that if you order a salad and they're downplaying you or saying, oh, you don't need to do that, surround yourself with people that are like-minded. The Bible says, how can two walk together unless they agree? It's not to say that you can't have friends that have different views than you, but how can you be on a journey, right, if somebody's trying to go another way? Somebody is either you're going to end up by yourself and it's going to be disappointing or discouraging, or somebody's going to lead you away. Let's condition our responses. Let's surround ourselves with opportunities for our responses to be affirmed and confirmed by people and by messages. And let's just keep on going. You can make it, I can make it, and I hope to see you there.